Hi guys, welcome back to Nixie DIY Crafts. To make this wreath, you're going to need one of these witch forms, 2 of the mesh rolls, some pipe cleaners, and some ribbon, color of your choice. I couldn't find the footage of me cutting the mesh for this fall wreath, so instead I replaced it with this footage from my Halloween wreath. It's exactly the same steps. I just wrap it around this 6-inch book until I run out of mesh, and then I trim the top, flip it over, and then trim the back. You're then going to take a handful of pipe cleaners and you're going to cut those in half. Then make yourself a little pile so they are ready for you when you start creating your bundles. To create your bundles, you're going to take 2 of the mesh pieces. You are going to pleat them using the walking technique as you see me doing here. Then you're going to take a pipe cleaner and you're going to secure them in place together. Now at this point, I do recommend adding your raffia. I didn't realize that I forgot this step until after I had completed all of my bundles. So I had to go back and add raffia after. So learn from my mistake. Add your 2 mesh, add raffia on top, then use the pipe cleaner to secure all in place. The next step is to remove all of the tinsel from the witch hat form. This is what it looks like after you've removed all of the tinsel. Your next step is you're going to take some wire cutters and you're going to cut off all of those little notches on the sides. I'm only doing it on the top portion of the hat. I'm not removing it from the bottom section. You're then going to take some jute twine and you're going to wrap the entire top portion of your wreath form. What I do here is I add a little bit of hot glue just to get me started. I use my silicone spoon to press it into the glue and then I start wrapping it around. I do recommend putting on a movie while you're doing this task. Continue wrapping the jute twine around your wreath form. What I do recommend is to add hot glue as you go along. And the further along you get, I do recommend to insert your fingers in the middle portion of the frame to just push the twine up, because you'll notice at some points that the twine wants to separate a little bit. So if you insert your fingers into the middle sections of the frame, you can just push them down into each other. When you're done wrapping your hat, you're going to go ahead and trim it and then secure it in place with some hot glue. So I added a little blob of hot glue. I pressed down my jute against the hot glue using my silicone spoon. Another suggestion is, instead of using this thin twine, you can absolutely use that chunky twine that they sell at the Dollar Tree. They also sell it at Hobby Lobby, and I think you'll get a better deal for your buck at Hobby Lobby. At this moment is when I realized that I forgot to add the raffia to my bundles. So please learn from my mistake. And when you are creating your bundles with your 2 pieces of mesh, add your raffia on top of that and then secure it with one of the pipe cleaners. That way you don't have to go back like I had to do here. When done creating all of your bundles, it's time to attach them to our form. So here you're going to attach them to the center section of the wreath form. So I flip my hat over and I insert the bundles from underneath and I secure them on top by just twisting those pipe cleaners. And I do need to apologize for this camera angle. I didn't realize how off my camera was from my workstation. So I hope that this is still helpful and not distracting with the angle. As you continue to add your bundles, just make sure that you continue to push them against each other so they're nice and tight, and the ending results, you won't be able to see the black frame. Once you complete the bottom portion, now we're going to add one of the bundles to the tip of the hat. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the pipe cleaners and I'm just sticking it through in between the jute twine, and then I'm securing it on the back side of the frame. And then I trim off the excess. And then I push the remaining pipe cleaner against my rubber mat just to press it down. To make the bow, I'm going to make a bow that has 5 loops. So I'm starting off with the first fold, and then I'm going to fold this ribbon over itself. You want to end up with 2 loops on one side and 3 loops on the other side. You're then going to trim your ribbon, leaving a long strip of ribbon because that's going to be one of your tails, and then cut a second piece to create the second tail for your bow. I then put a little bit of hot glue on top of my bundle, and then I add my second tail on top of it. I then pinch the ribbon together and I use a pipe cleaner to secure it all in place. Then pull out all of the loops from within each other, and then just start fluffing your bow by inserting your hand into each loop and opening your fingers wide to expand the loops. Then the tails, I'm folding them in half to dovetail them. So remember to fold in half, and you're going to cut at an angle from the spine downward, or in this case, upward. Now to add your bow to your wreath. Insert your hand into all of the mesh and try to make a little separation in between the mesh. Insert your pipe cleaner and then secure it in the back side. Flip it over and then just fluff up your ribbon again. So there's a section in the front where there's like a little knot on the jute twine. So I decided to cover that using one of these Dollar Tree fall leaves. But if you've bought these before, you know they are very thin, so you can see the hot glue right through it. So I decide to then cover that one up with another fall leaf. I then take one of these little mini pumpkins, also from the Dollar Tree. These came on skewers, so I just pulled it right off with a skewer, and I'm attaching it to the center of my bundle at the top of the reform. And that completes this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you were inspired. Thanks for watching. Bye.